Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of Pokemon Yellow. In the last part we got up to here in Route something, I don't know these route numbers that well. And now we're gonna progress through Rock Tunnel. By far the worst dungeon in the game, even though it's actually fairly simple in design. It's just a lot of forks that can get annoying. Plus, this is one of the only dungeons in the game that actually requires you to use Flash. Wait, does Cerulean Cave? I don't remember if the final dungeon does. Now in this version, I think they did. I forget if they did that on Crystal as well, but when you're in a place that needs Flash, it's completely black. That's one thing I do like about Gen 3 onwards, is that they just give you a small circle. That's also one thing I did not like about Gen 3's Victory Road. It required Flash. Really, if you played this game to death like I have, you should know the way around. It's fairly simple, but it's also very grid-like. In fact, that's one thing I will say, is that the dungeon designs in Gen 1 aren't that inspired. They're really simple. Then again, you can say that for all the Pokemon games until Gen 4, actually. Gen 4 actually really outdid itself in the dungeon design with the third dimension added. Especially in Platinum with what's the name of that dimension in Platinum? It's been forever since I played that. I'll just call it Psycho Field. Then Gen 5 outdid itself in the dungeon department. I will say that the cave sections in Pokemon, like we're in right now, are probably at their hardest in Yellow, because a lot of the time, if you're not encountering a Zubats, you're encountering endless Geodudes, which, since they're rock ground, Pikachu's actually rather a tough choice to use against them. And we're finally out of that place. Thank God, that place was a nightmare in my childhood. In fact, Rock Tunnel, I think, was the place that I stopped playing in Fire Red for the longest time. And if you remember Crystal, we are right above Lavender Town. And begin depressing music. Or maybe not. And sorry about that. Anyway, off screen I trained everyone up to level 40, and a couple of evolutions that happened along the way. Cam evolved into Venusaur. And yes, by the way, I did say level 40. I am going to be overloaded for pretty much the rest of the game, actually. Abe evolved into his final form, Charizard. And which is actually my preferred starter for Gen 1, usually. But unless I play Yellow, which is, oddly enough, I think Yellow's the one I play the most. Fallon evolved both times from Squirtle into Wartortle, and Wartortle into Blastoise. So with that, aside from one instance later on, wait, no, actually, this may be the last evolution we see. I'm thinking, yeah, it is, unless I somehow hack in and can make Mad Evolve. Because Pat is out of my party and he will return. And now it's time for depressing music. Isn't that sad? I can't really talk over all of it because I might as well explain the story. Apparently, the original Japanese red and green version of that song had some messed up frequencies that only young kids could hear. And it gave them seizures, which is not a good thing whatsoever. Because they edited it for all the future releases, which is why I was so optimistic in Gen 2. And anyway, now we're fighting Blue, and people are always wondering why he's in here. Well, there's actually a fan theory. And this, if you remember from the previous couple of battles with Blue, he had a Rattata. I think it evolved into a Raticate at one point. I don't really remember. But from now on, he will no longer have it. This is the first battle where he doesn't have it. Fans have theorized that somewhere along the line, or maybe even in your last battle with him, you killed the Rattata, which is rather grim. That is one thing that's always been weird about Pokemon, is that it's always acknowledged that they die. There's this place, there's the Lavender Tower in Gen 1, technically the towers in Ecruteak, and the graveyard in Mr. Fuji's house in Gen 2. Mount Pyre in Gen 3. I always forget the name of the thing in 5, and Gen 4 and 5. This is weird, because I was just playing Black and White 2 today, so I shouldn't forget that much, should I? And really, as you can see, I've really overleveled because M1's at level 40, aside from the slave, which is still in my party, but only for a little more, like 2 more parts maybe it'll be in my party, I want to say. But as you might think, that level grinding took a while. In fact, I think it took me 4 hours to do everyone. So I think this actually may be the part that took the most to make. And oddly enough, they're gonna be in those levels for a while. I want them to be at least level 60 by the end of the game, which might mean another 20 levels of level grinding in Victory Road later on, because as if that's a spoiler, there's a Victory Road in every game, as I think I said in Gen 2, but hopefully it won't be that rough on my soul. Anyway, let's get out of Lavender Town. May that music never fully loop again. It might. Anyway, I fought all the trainers in this route off-screen when I was level grinding. In fact, the route both below and above Lavender Town I also emptied out, so less editing for me to do, I suppose. And actually, that guy right there at the bottom of the screen right now, no he's not, is this is where you can do Yellow's version of the Mew glitch. I'm not going to explain that. I might do that in a bonus video with Red. I'm not really sure. I might not. I probably won't. If you do, it will be sometime, because I'll be honest, with playing through this, I'm Pokemon out for a while. After this, I'm probably gonna do some more Mega Man Legends. Maybe in a different game. And welcome to Celadon City. Nothing has really changed on the map from it. I think I was gonna distract it at that point. But, to the point where this is also where the mart is still. But I won't be showing that off until the next parts for various reasons. Anyway, this is the one gym, this is the last gym I believe that I'll be needing cut for, will it? Yeah, it should be. And also, like in Gen 2, there's a pervert peeking into the window. Fucking old man perverts. And welcome to the Celadon Gym, which, like in Gen 2, is themed along with, what's it called? Grass types. If you have a bug type or a fire type, like you should at this point in Yellow, it's no problem. And actually, I was wrong. I think they gave every gym leader in this game their anime sprite counterparts, and they actually, for the majority of them, also given them their teams. Because I'm trying to remember, I don't remember all their teams by heart. The only one I have memorized is Lieutenant Surge, because he only has a Raichu. And maybe I should look back to the Raws, or not the Raws, the overcompensated. But I will say this, Erica, for some reason in the games, always comes off as a bit of a pothead. I mean, just look at that look in her eyes. She's like, totally stoned. But she's actually supposed to be she's supposed to be, like, drowsy or something. Like, she's always falling asleep, and I don't get that. Anyway, Charizard here is the main example to me of why they should have changed the back sprites as well, because from the original red and green in Japan and over into blue, they changed the sprites. I think they changed the back sprite for that one, but But then when they made Yellow, they gave everything its anime counterpart sprite, which is the canonical ones now. But they didn't change the back sprites, much if at all. Charizard looks like a freaking donkey. Also, off screen at like level 30 something, Abe learned Slash, which I think I had on. What the? Oh, that's right. I forgot that happened. Which I think I had on. I think it was Cam in Gen 1 or Gen 2. I forget who, but Slash is extremely overpowered in this because Gen 1's critical rate is a bit wonky, and because of it, Slash is broken. It's pretty damn broken. And Erica's down. That's 4 gym leaders. How many did I have by part 6 of Crystal? Like 3? 3, maybe 4, actually. But I will say this is probably going to be over a lot quicker than Crystal. Because Crystal was 26 parts, this is looking like it might be around 12. Anyway, there were 2, if you remember where the tree was above the entrance to the gym, there's, on the house on the left, that's actually a restaurant. Talk to this guy here to get the coin case for the game corner. I will not be using it. I don't think I'll be using the game corner at all, but yeah, it's a nice little trivia. And this is the game corner. That's where you can trade in your coins for prizes. There's only one machine in here that's really fair. But other than that, it's meh. Hey, look, a Team Rocket member. Investigate the poster here to get into a button that allows us to enter the Rocket Hideout. But I'm gonna have to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time on Let's Play Pokemon Yellow, we will venture into this hideout and fight them again. And yes, the 71 hours are just because of the grinding.